trooped out en masse with their permanent voter cards as registration centers to participate in the exercise. At Salvation Army Primary School, Odujomu, one of the registration area in Ondo Town, INEC officials were seen reverting to facial accreditation of participants as alternative where the beavers machine failed to recognize their fingerprints. In Akure South local government, registration areas recorded a fair turnout of prospective voters with INEC officials fully on ground to assess. INEC's National Commissioner supervising Ondo, Osun and Ogun states, Professor Kunle Ajayi, said the mock accreditation would help to test the credibility and reliability of a beavers machine on the field, as well as readiness of INEC staff.
We want to know whether we are actually ready for the election. And in assessing our readiness, we need to look at our ICT devices, particularly beavers. We want to know their efficiency, how our beavers are performing, how efficient they are, how everything is set. So we want to be sure of that. And I'm so happy to report to you that all the beavers worked perfectly well. Then again, we want to see the readiness of our staff. We've been training them now almost 1 year, getting ready for the election. We want to see how ready they are to, and I'm equally happy to report to you that everything when in terms of assessing them, their skill have been sharpened, their emotional readiness have been sharpened, and we are happy that everybody's okay. Good to go for all us, at least from assessing our staff. It's unfortunate that some bad elements are trying to discourage INEC conducting a free, fair, and credible election. But I can assure you, no matter what they do, we are ready. All those things, fortunately for us, they are destroying only non-sensitive materials. Things we can replay within 24 hours. That is what they are destroying, and it doesn't affect the conduct of the election.
Residents expressed satisfaction at the functionality of the beavers device introduced by the Commission.
Everything is going on well. I'm happy and I'm satisfied the way the thing that they are doing it.
The exercise is being held in 12 selected polling units across 6 local government areas in the 3 senatorial districts of Ondo State. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, ahead of the 2023 general elections, political parties and their candidates have signed a peace accord with the Ondo State Police Command, promising to conduct themselves within the ambit of law. Commissioner of Police Oyeyemi Oyediran, during the stakeholders' engagement, assured politicians and residents that his officers will display professionalism and will not sabotage the credibility of the election. Osrc Said Aribisala, who was at the event, report that the consensus was that the success of any election is a responsibility of all.
Under one roof, different political parties in Ondo State, their candidates and the Independent Electoral Commission (INEC) are gathered at the instance of the State Police Command. As the 2023 general election approaches, this stakeholders' engagement, according to the Commissioner of Police Oyeyemi Oyediran, is to ensure all parties play the game in line with the rules. Oyediran assured that officers of the command will not sabotage the process, stressing that efforts to hinder a credible election from any angle will not be condoned.
If you see anything going on at one of our security agencies, please call the nearest police station, the nearest people. You have to set it all. Technology now makes it easy. The power of the technology and appropriate action will be taken.
Acting Resident Electoral Commissioner in Ondo State, Oyekola Oyelami, assured the parties of its neutrality and commitment to a free poll.
The Commission is going to give every political party a level playing ground. The Commission will not be partisan. As far as we are concerned, and when you look at the elections that have been conducted recently, you will see that the Commission has been giving all the parties a level playing ground.
The occasion was also an opportunity for the party leaders to bear their minds on issues around thuggery, vote buying, and the operations of police officers on election day.
I want to know, is there any procedure for police authority or law enforcement agents to checkmate the activities of INEC officials at the election day?
We are ready to do everything to ensure that the election is peaceful and to work with the stakeholders that are concerned.
I believe in campaigns that has to do with peaceful kind of reaching out to people across board, and that's what we'll be doing.
Observations on the need for prompt deployment of electoral materials on election day, the need to increase sensitization of residents on proper conduct during electioneering period, PVC distribution, among others, were also raised.
On the issue of the materials getting to the polling units on time, I want to assure you that materials as far as this election is concerned, we get to all our polling units on time, and that is why we have rack centers which are all very close to each of the polling units. By the special grace of God, materials will get to the polling units on time.
While the police boss and INEC officials urged the stakeholders and residents to report any concern to the authority for action, the event climaxed with the signing of a peace accord by political parties and their candidates. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
And still talking election, the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum has warned that any attempt to scuttle the 2023 general elections and impose an interim government will be resisted. The forum, after a meeting in Abuja, expressed displeasure over current happenings in the country, which the leaders say might obstruct democratic progress and well-being of Nigerians. In attendance were leaders of the component organizations, Afenifere for the Southwest, Waneze Ndigbo for the Southeast, Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF for the South-South, and the Middle Belt Forum, MBF, for the Middle Belt. The meeting deliberated on the state of the nation and the 2023 general elections, as well as other worrisome issues, particularly the current hardship Nigerians are facing due to the unavailability of the new currency note, the fuel situation, the problems with PVC collection, among others. The forum applauded President Muhammadu Buhari for his reiterated commitment to non-interference in the election process to guarantee free, fair, and credible elections. And Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has warned that those reportedly trying to scuttle the February 25 and March 11 general elections to desist from the plot, saying no to any form of interim government. The governor handed down the warning during a campaign in Okpobo, Nkoro local government area of the state. Wike's comment comes barely 24 hours after the flag bearer of the All Progressives Congress APC, Bola Tinubu, campaigned in Ekiti and alleged a sinister plot to cause a crisis that will lead to the postponement and disruption of the February 25 election. Wike, a People's Democratic Party PDP chieftain, also berated the federal government over the scarcity of free newly redesigned Naira notes, saying he believes that President Muhammadu Buhari was misled to approve the policy. The former minister said those supporting the currency redesign amid the electioneering process are the enemies of the country. The former chief of staff to Governor Ekeze Ikpeazu Okeaiwe has been elected as the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Abia State. He poured a total number of 469 votes to defeat his closest rivals, the deputy governor of the state, Ude Okochukwu, and Mr. Lucky Igbokwe, who scored 12 votes each. Others who participated in the process were a former chairman of the party, Senator Emma Ewaka, who had no votes, and a former House of Assembly member, Sampon Oji, who polled 11 votes. The chairman of the Abia PDP primary and governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, declared the winner at the special congress monitored by a team from the Independent National Electoral Commission led by Mr. Festus Okoye. And in Taraba State, the National Secretariat of the All Progressives Congress APC has fixed Friday, February 10, 2023 for a fresh governorship primary election in the state. This comes after the Supreme Court on Wednesday nullified the primary in which Senator Emmanuel Bwacha emerged as the APC governorship candidate in the forthcoming general elections. In a letter dated February 2, 2023, the National Organizing Secretary, Suleiman Mohammed Agungu, told the Taraba State chairman of the party that the exercise will be held at Jolly Nyame Stadium in Jalingo, the state capital. The letter stated that the APC shall be adopting the indirect mode for the conduct of the fresh primary election. And still on election, as the date for the 2023 general election draws nearer, the Commandant Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) Zamfara State Command Muhammad Bello Muazu says the media remains the only hope for the common man. The Commandant made the assertion during a workshop titled Capacity Building and the Role of Media in News Reportage in the 2023 general elections organized by the State NSCDC Command. He stressed that the media play invaluable roles in ensuring the survival of democracy in the country. He therefore called on journalists to discharge their duties in accordance with the ethics of their profession. The State NUJ Chairman Ibrahim Musa Maizari commended the Commandant for organizing the workshop, describing it as timely. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. After the break, we bring you more stories. Please stay.
Hey, this kid, how are you guys? 1,000. We go watch play tire. Farabade now.
Madam, hello, brother, na 3,005.
Màá fún yín ní owó pé káàdì Glo ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún 10,000.
Oh yeah.
Bring your phone.
Ah, 10,000.
1,000 naira credit. 9 years to 10,000.
No. All of us don't know about Glo Berekete. Ní ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá nísìnyí.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́? Ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá ló máa gbà lórí iyekíye tó o bá rà sórí ohun ìpè Glo Berekete 10 times rẹ.
I told you. Now what go tell?
Glad to have you back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Despite a series of campaign and awareness on cancer cases in Africa, the disease keeps increasing. Omoyo Laungbeji in this report takes a look at the factors responsible for the increase and efforts at addressing the menace.
According to data released by World Health Organization last year, Africa records 1.1 million new cases of cancer, resulting up to 700,000 deaths, with breast cancer, cervical, prostate, liver, and colorectal cancers account for almost half the new cases on the continent annually. Children are also not left out, as of the more than 400,000 children diagnosed annually with cancer globally, about 90% live in low and middle income countries, especially Africa and Nigeria inclusive. Experts highlighted some causes of cancer cases to include cigarette smoking, infections such as human immunodeficiency virus (HIV), hepatitis B and C, human papilloma virus (HPV), genetic factor, and certain heavy metals contained in some soaps used as skin bleaching.
The longer years you menstruate, the higher the risk of developing breast cancer. The family history and the is
Meanwhile, founder of Breast Cancer Association of Nigeria, BRECAN, and wife of Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu, after surviving breast cancer disease 26 years ago, has been on the streets of Nigeria pleading and sensitizing citizens that cancer, especially breast cancer, is not a death sentence if addressed early. More feathers were also added, which include cervical and prostate cancer. This, she said, was part of efforts to reduce cancer cases to minimum level. In line with the theme and interventions to support victims of cancer cases, Wall of Hope was launched by the governor's wife to complement BRECAN's efforts in giving hope to the hopeless, saying treatment of cancer cases is beyond average Nigerians' capacity.
There's a wall of hope. It's already out there. In December, the founder of BRECAN, we gave out close to 4 million naira. Close to 4 million naira to 18 women in Ondo State. It is not Ondo State government money. It is money from you and I. The least person that got there got about 200,000. But the truth is this: there are many. We could only do that little, but with your support, we can do much more.
World Cancer Day 2023 marks the second year of a new 3-year campaign with the theme Close the Care Gap, which centered on the issue of equity. Omoriola Humbiji, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, over 34,000 public servants have been captured for the Orange Health Insurance Scheme in Ondo State. The Director General Ondo State's Contributory Health Commission, Dr. Abiodun Oyene, while giving an update on the scheme, said those that have been captured can start receiving services at their chosen health facilities. Osrc Saeed Aribisala has details.
The Orange Health Insurance Scheme, Oranges, which is aimed at providing financial risk protection and reduce out-of-pocket expenditure on healthcare among public servants, was flagged off last year. Following months of rigorous field exercise for the smooth takeoff of the scheme, the Director General Ondo State Contributory Health Commission, Dr. Abiodun Oyene, labor leaders and other representatives of selected ministries converged on Akure for an update on the scheme. Dr. Oyene said the 34,783 public servants already captured in the ongoing enrollment into the scheme across the 18 local government areas can start accessing care at chosen facilities.
A collaborative effort to make sure that our hospitals are viable. Rome was not built in a day. It's not going to be a transition in one day. But I can assure you, in 6 months from here, you will all be glad. I'm also glad that the project ongoing at UNIMED, the 250-bed hospital in Laje Complex and Akure Complex, is near completion. I'm sure the government is working towards equipping them, and by God's grace also provisions to also recruit more health workers.
The DG who noted that 72 million naira would be expended monthly on capitation, so the next phase of physical capturing of dependents will soon commence.
By estimation, by the time we complete the enrollment of all public servants and dependents, we are going to have close to 120,000 enrollees under the Orange Health Insurance Scheme only. And the question about how much do we expend monthly on capitation alone, with that estimation, we'll be paying an average of 72 million naira monthly to those hospitals.
Dr. Oyene revealed that all enrollees can now proceed to access care from their chosen healthcare provider.
What we want to achieve is to ensure that the business of government does not stop one day. So people can go in. This process is totally automated. Maximum 3 to 5 minutes, somebody can be captured. All the database have been uploaded on our ODCC health insurance software. The forms have been filled, validated, verified. So all we need is just to take the picture to make sure that the person is not a ghost worker, and also for the person to decide which hospital he wants to choose, because we are not going to force any hospital on any enrollee.
Representatives of Ondo State Ministry of Health, that of the Hospital Management Board, and the State Drug and Health Commodity Management Agency said necessary measures have been put in place to ensure the 57 health facilities enrolled for the scheme maintain standard. Ondo State Chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress, Sunday Adeleye, who enjoined workers to utilize the scheme, applauded the commitment of stakeholders to its success. The Ondo State Health Insurance Commission says it is targeting 100,000 enrollees in the scheme in the coming months, while sustaining the mantra, Naira-wise, health smart. Sahira Ribisala, Osrc News.
The Ondo State Cocoa Council has expressed confidence in the state governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu on the development of cocoa in the state. Chairman of the council, Dr. Olusegun Awolumate, condemned the media report on alleged sales of Ondo State Sunshine Chocolate Factory, Alade Idore. He said the council is in full knowledge of the establishment and commissioning of the chocolate factory by Governor Akeredolu in September 2020, saying one of them, late Robo Adweze, worked with Mr. Eric Reid, managing director of Spagbola Chocolate Company, and took over the running of the factory until his death in April 2022. He affirmed that there is no truth in the rumor that the senior special assistant on Agric and Agric business, Akin Olotu, has decided to sell the factory for a patent. Dr. Awolumate said the State Cocoa Council is solidly behind Mr. Governor on all moves to improve the cocoa value chain of the state. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) has arrested officials of two commercial banks in Abuja and Osun State for alleged sabotage as the scarcity of new Naira note lingers. A statement by the ICPC spokesperson, Mrs. Azuka Agugwa, said the arrests were in continuation of its clampdown on elements frustrating efforts to make the redesigned Naira note available to members of the public. Agugwa said an Abuja-based bank official was taken into custody for a deliberate refusal to upload cash into a bank's automated teller machines ATMs, though the cash was said to have been available and people were queuing at the ATMs. In a related development, the ICPC compliance team in Oshogbo busted a bank where some ATMs were loaded with cash with their wrappers unremoved, preventing the cash from being dispensed. The team therefore directed that the wrappers be removed and the cash loaded properly, while the operation manager of the bank was arrested and taken in for questioning. Similarly, 7 point-of-sale POS operators and security guard were arrested in Osun for charging exorbitant commissions for cash. Meanwhile, the chairman, Senate Committee on the Federal Capital Territory, Senator Smart Adeyemi, has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to reconsider his position to address the current Naira scarcity within the next 7 days. The senator, who is representing Kogi West Senatorial District in the National Assembly, stated this while addressing journalists in Abuja. Buhari had on Friday promised to address the issue of Naira scarcity within 7 days when he met with the All Progressives Congress governors. But Adeyemi said the current sovereigns of the people were becoming unbearable and pleaded with the president to act immediately to avoid further death among the people. He also noted that Buhari wasn't a party to the Naira shortage being experienced in the country. However, the problems he believes were caused by those he described as hypocrites on the corridor of power. And soldiers have reportedly shot motorcyclists amidst the protest against fuel and Naira note scarcity at the Akpata area in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The protest, which happened across the major cities of the state, grounded activities and had youth carrying placards expressing their grievances on the situation since Friday. According to an eyewitness, the shooting incident happened in the early hours of today after men of the Nigerian army were deployed on the streets to douse the tension in the state. The eyewitness added that there was also a female casualty in the shootout who is currently receiving treatment. Police authorities in the state are yet to confirm the incident. And with that, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at some of the major stories. We told you that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has begun a mock accreditation exercise across Nigeria ahead 2023 general elections. The exercise was also conducted in Ondo State as residents applauded the exercise. And we also told you that the Independent and Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) has arrested officials of 2 commercial banks in Abuja and Osrc State for alleged sabotage as the scarcity of new Naira note lingers. A statement by the ICPC spokesperson, Mrs. Azuka Ogugwa, said the arrests were in continuation of its clampdown on elements frustrating efforts to make the redesigned Naira note available to members of the public. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Do have a night rest.